Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel where today we are looking at the books that I did not finish in the month of June. There were 4 books and most of them, well, pretty much all of them were in the last week of the month. So let's get into why I did not finish these books. So the very first book is Inside Out by Maria V. Snyder. This is the first book in a duology, and we are following our main character of Trella, who is a scrub, essentially a maintenance worker on the inside in the lower levels of the inside. And she is curious about the outside and if there is a gateway to the outside and what it means. And she accidentally starts a rebellion. So, with that, I ended up DNFing this around page 50. This just really was not clicking with me. I did not like Trella. She is kind of mean to absolutely everybody around her, including her best friend. The mystery of the inside versus the outside and all that kind of stuff. I guessed what it was on page 4 and I looked it up and I was correct. So that's exciting. And just generally, like, the story just I didn't find to be all that captivating. I just didn't enjoy it. And then the last quibble I have, which I'll mention, is that their units of time are different than ours, which made it unnecessarily difficult to figure out like how much time has passed or how old people are. So I didn't appreciate that either. But in the end, at page 50, I just decided, I'm done. So I put it down. The second book on this is Line by Line by Claire Kehrwald Cook. Now this is a textbook. I didn't realize that this is pretty well into textbook territory. This is really about how to edit your own work, and I was very excited because that's something that I do want to learn. So I picked this up and I started reading the introduction and I really couldn't hang. So then I read like some of the more instruction-y type pages, and I tried a couple different times and I honestly didn't make it through a single page. It's just very dry and very boring, very much a textbook, and it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. Like, I do really want to learn how to edit my own writing, but this is not how I'm going to learn it. Now, I will say it looks like a lot of the information is really good, and so if you can deal with very dry kind of presentation of that material, this might actually be a really nice book for you. After that, I did not finish The Declaration by Gemma Malley. This is a young adult dystopian, and it is set in the year 2140, and we have discovered anti-aging drugs. And if you want to have any of the anti-aging drugs, you have to promise to never have children. And if you do, they will be taken away and put into these surplus halls, because those kids are labeled as surplus. And these kids are then trained to be servants because as surplus, they are drains on resources, and so they need to make up for that. I already have issues with this. But in any case, enter our main character of Anna, who is obviously a surplus, and she has been in the surplus hall since she was 2.5, and she is now 15. She is getting ready to go out and be the best servant that she can be because she's super brainwashed. And then a boy appears, a very mysterious boy who claims to know her parents, and the story goes from there. So there, I had 2 main problems. This reads as a young adult, and that tends to be pretty hit or miss for me. I'm just not a young adult kind of person. So I didn't love that. And then I found it to be really predictable. I was just like, I kind of already know where this book is going, after having read 50 pages. Like, I know what the possible twists and turns are going to be, and I just don't really care to read it. I didn't really love Anna as a character, and so like I didn't care to watch her journey. And so after about 50 pages, I did DNF this. And then lastly is The Orphan Queen by Jodi Meadows. And in this book, we are following our main character of Wilhelmina. I should back up and say this is young adult fantasy. But we are following our main character of Wilhelmina, who is a secret princess. And she is also part of a gang of orphans and together they are all noble-born children from the previous kingdom. So Wilhelmina's parents, the king and queen, were killed, and all of the nobles were killed, and the children were sent off to orphanages, and they escaped and are now all living together and trying to plot a rebellion to overthrow the current king and reinstall Wilhelmina. There is also a lot of magic in this area, but it's kind of cool. Like, the magic, if you use magic, it creates essentially an anti-magic called Wraith. And this Wraith has been building, and it is now devouring kingdoms. And so it's actually a really big deal. You do not want, like, it's outlawed for you to use magic, understandably so. And then, of course, so here's my very first problem with this book. Apparently, the reason that the king and queen were overthrown is because they refused to sign into the alliance of all the other kingdoms who were saying, we're not going to use magic. The king and Wilhelmina's parents basically said, we're not going to sign it. We're going to still use magic. It doesn't, like, the bad doesn't outweigh the good kind of thing. And which is super problematic because, like, it's all the other kingdoms that are getting destroyed by this Wraith. And I was just like, actually, I agree. Your parents should have been overthrown. So there's that problem. The second problem is that Wilhelmina doesn't actually know how to lead. So I'm just sitting here going, how are you going to be a queen if you don't even know how to lead? And then there's some other plot problems and world building problems, minor, but ended up adding up to this super unbelievable world. And additionally, it's just not, it didn't feel very unique. It feels very much like every other secret princess story I have ever read. So I ended up just DNFing this around page 50 because I just wasn't connecting with the stories. And so that's it, you guys. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books. Do you agree with my assessment? Do you not agree with my assessment? Should I give them a second try? Let me know down below. But that's it. So until next time, have happy reading, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.